So to simplify, E of delta is simply delta transpose M delta, where the matrix M at location P is, so we'll just superscript with P or maybe subscript with P, is given by A of P, CP, CP and BP, where A of P is Ix squared convolved with W, B of P is Iy squared convolved with W, and C of P is Ix Iy convolved with W at location P. So this is going to be giving us the same matrix, the dimension same as the image dimension, and we access its pth value. So the corner score or the corner score, so the corners or corner score of a particular pixel P is characterized by the eigenvalues of matrix MP, where M of P is a 2 cross 2 matrix. Furthermore, from elementary linear algebra and mathematics, we know that the eigenvalues, so this matrix M is going to have two, so this matrix P is positive definite, positive semi-definite, and is also symmetric. So this is symmetric and positive semi-definite. And thus both the eigenvalues are going to be non-negative. So we also know that the eigenvalues are denoted by lambda 1 and lambda 2, and we know that lambda 1 times lambda 2 is given by the determinant of matrix MP, and the sum of the eigenvalues is given by the trace of matrix MP. And this is A of P plus B of P, where the matrix MP is AP, CP, CP and BP. Furthermore, from elementary calculus, you would also know that the size of the ellipse or the elongation of the ellipse or the length of the major and the minor axis of the ellipse resulting from this matrix M. So we have E of delta at location P as delta transpose MP delta, and thus the ellipsoid, the length of the ellipsoid, the length of the axis of the ellipsoid is inversely proportional to the lambda 1 and lambda 2. So let's suppose if lambda 1 is greater than lambda 2, then the major axis would correspond to lambda 2 and the minor axis would correspond to lambda 1, and the length of the major axis is inversely proportional to lambda 2, and the minor axis is inversely proportional to 1 over lambda 1. So this matrix P, this matrix MP is both symmetric and positive semi-definite. So both the eigenvalues are also going to be non-negative. So and the rotation of the ellipse is given by the eigenvectors. So the eigenvectors of this matrix MP is going to give the rotation of this ellipsoid, and the length of the major and minor axis are defined by the inverse, are directly proportional to the inverse of the eigenvalues. But to detect the corners or to determine the corner score of any particular pixel P, we do not need the eigenvectors, we just need the eigenvalues. Furthermore, the cornerness function in the original Harris corner direction paper doesn't even explicitly compute the eigenvalues as well, because the information that we need regarding the eigenvalues is given by both the determinant and the trace of the matrix P. So this matrix P is more than sufficient to determine the cornerness score of a particular pixel without explicitly computing the lambda 1 and lambda 2. So from the elementary linear algebra and matrix theory, we know that if an ellipse is characterized by an equation x transpose px is less than or equal to 1, then the resulting ellipses major and minor axes correspond or are directly proportional to the inverse of the eigenvalues of matrix P. So the length of major and minor axis is inversely proportional to the eigenvalues of matrix P, which are already discussed earlier over here as well. So if the eigenvalues are very large of this matrix P, then the ellipse would be very small, and if the eigenvalues are very small, then the ellipse would be very large in size. So basically the eigenvalues of this matrix P determine the spread of the ellipsoid. So if the eigenvalues are large, then there is very small uncertainty around a point, and if the eigenvalues are small, then the ellipse would be large, meaning that the particular pixel denotes a flat region. So if the eigenvalues are small, so if the eigenvalues are large, then the resulting ellipse characterized by equation x transpose px or this delta transpose m delta. So if the eigenvalues are very large, then this denotes a very high certainty or very small uncertainty around a point. Furthermore, if eigenvalues are small, it means that there is a very high degree of uncertainty, or the ellipse is very large, which means that the region around a pixel P is roughly a flat region, denoting a large uncertainty. So large uncertainty denoting a flat region, meaning this point cannot be a corner point. For example, consider a graphical case where we have image regions looking like this, and assume these are our edges. So these are our edges, and the different colors denote different regions. Likewise, we have yellow over here, we have here we have white over here. So let's consider some candidate points. So this is definitely our corner point. It's a junction of two different edges. This point is a flat region. This point is a corner. This point is an edge point. And this is again a flat region. It's a homogeneous region. So there's a very small uncertainty. So if we plot the ellipse corresponding to this equation, this expression delta transpose m delta, so the ellipse would be very small. Here there's a very flat region, so the ellipse would be very large, meaning there's a high degree of uncertainty around this point. For this point, the ellipse is this with major and minor axis. At this point, at the edge point, there is very high uncertainty in one direction, but in other direction there is not so. So in this direction there is not so large an uncertainty, but in this direction there is tangential to the edge. There is a very high degree of uncertainty, and again this point is flat region. So this is what it would. So basically, you can draw a dummy image, and you can compute the delta transpose m delta, or you can compute the matrix M for each of the pixels, and you can compute their eigenvalues and then plot the ellipsoid considering. So to plot an ellipse, you can simply plot. So to plot these ellipses, you can simply consider, for example, ultimately E delta P is given by delta transpose MP delta. So to plot these ellipses, you can just consider sort of all x where x belongs. So you can consider all vectors Z transpose MP Z such that this satisfies this inequality. So you can consider, so you can sort of scatter all Z. So to plot these ellipses, you can find all Z. So you can find set S, which is a set of all Z being two-dimensional real vectors, such that Z transpose MP Z is less than or equal to 1. So you can plot all such Z points, or you can scatter all the Z points, and then you will get the ellipse corresponding to each of the matrix MP at different pixel locations. But here we have drawn you roughly. I mean, these are not exactly accurate depiction of the ellipsoid that you would be getting, but the rough idea as to what are the ellipsoids that you would be getting if you really plot them considering the ideal image scenarios. So we consider the ideal image scenario to explain the eigenvalue relation for the cornerness score. So essentially, if the ellipse eigenvalues, if both the eigenvalues are very small, if both lambda 1 and lambda 2 are small, then this is a flat region, meaning this neither corner nor an edge point. If both lambda 1 and lambda 2 are large, then this denotes a corner point. And if one eigenvalue is small, let's suppose if lambda 1 is small and lambda 2 is high, then this denotes an edge point. So this essentially basically covers the entire Harris corner detector algorithm. Now the question is how we can use the eigenvalues, or can we come up with a simple mathematical function that allows us to compute the cornerness score of a particular pixel without analyzing the lambda 1 and lambda 2. So Harris gave us one such score function. So the cornerness score function that the Harris corner detection algorithm gave us is represented by h, where this is a cornerness score of a pixel, is simply given by lambda 1 times lambda 2 minus some constant k times lambda 1 plus lambda 2 square. Where k is some small constant. Where we discussed earlier that the product of the eigenvalues is given by the determinant of matrix MP, and the sum of the eigenvalues is given by the trace of matrix MP. So the matrix MP is more than sufficient to compute this cornerness score of any pixel P. And the value of this k that we have used for some of the images that we would be showing to you next is 0.04. So we will compute this matrix H for each of the pixels in the image. So we compute the cornerness score for each of the pixels, and and we get a matrix H with the same dimension as the image. And we select a point as a corner if it is above some threshold tau. So we select a particular pixel P as a corner pixel if the cornerness score at location P is greater than some human defined threshold. So this covers the mathematical discussion of the entire Harris corner detection algorithm. So note that the Harris corner detection algorithm requires us to compute this cornerness score for each of the pixel without requiring us to explicitly compute the differences of the delta shifted patches around each of the pixels. And that's why Harris corner detection algorithm allows us mathematically to compute the cornerness score for infinite number of directions, infinite number of shifts at once, without being explicit about a particular shift. So this is how Harris corner detection algorithm is better than the Moravec's corner detector, and what we have discussed in this lecture is the mathematics that allows us to do this. Next we will discuss discuss the graphical representation, the contours of this cornerness score function, and try to understand like why this particular score function using a graphical using a graph. But formally, this completes the entire mathematical discussion of the Harris corner detection algorithm. Next we'll just discuss and summarize everything. Discuss the present the contours of this function h graphically, and then we'll just conclude everything about the Harris corner detection algorithm.